Alright, good morning. It is Monday, November 4th. I'm telling you, the light, I don't know if you can see outside, the time changed. And it made it so nice and light outside. So it was really enjoyable to drive to work today because I can see where I was going. But apparently, everybody here gets here at the same time now because it's light outside. So everybody comes in early now. All of a sudden, I got here and there was all these cars. I was just like, oh, okay, everybody's here. I want to say we're doing CH. Yeah, we're doing CH, TCH, PH, and WH, which is such a weird combination to me, but whatever. And we're talking about maps and things like that, so we'll be reading our big book today. They're going to have their phonics skills. And what else do we have today? Today we have our mini family activity. So like we meet with our mini family every single day, but we have our activity today and we're doing the Skittle, like a Skittle activity where whatever the student eats, they could choose to eat any color, but whatever they choose to eat, they have questions about gratitude, like things that they're grateful for. Name a person you're thankful for, name this, name that. I'm not sure, I probably should plan another little activity to do, but I tried to do the last time I tried to do the Pictionary, which was good. It seemed like the students enjoyed it, but I did have two that could not read the words because they're like kindergartners and first graders and they're just not up to the reading. You know, I tried to pick words that were really small for them, but they still have some trouble. So I'm trying to think of something else I can do with them. And then today for math, we're subtracting 9. So we were doing adding 9. Now we're subtracting 9, which is really weird to me. I always find the subtracting one like so weird because it's like they have to do 2 things of subtraction. But it is Monday, so it's time for Coffee Talk Monday. So cue the intro. Alright, for today's Coffee Talk Monday, this one came from, I can't remember it off the top of my head. They were asking about sub-plans, like how I do my sub-plans, which I kind of commented back on it, not realizing they were wanting it for a Coffee Talk Monday topic. But I'll do a really quick thing on sub-plans. I have no intention of having a sub anytime soon. Okay, so this is from L. Arand. Sorry if I messed that up. But anyway, so yeah, they were asking about sub-plans. So I have no intention of doing sub-plans, hopefully anytime soon. Cross your fingers they don't get sick or something. What I do is I actually have my own sub-plans that are in my Teacher Paid Teacher store. Those are the ones I actually do use for my subs. And if you remember, I just had a sub a couple weeks ago and they enjoyed them. They liked them. So I mean, that's kind of good news. I don't know, like you don't always hear back on them, so I never knew. I like them, and I think they're easy to use. So they just have like boxes, and I just fill in the boxes for each time that something is happening. What I usually leave for subs is a lot of review stuff. So I try not to give too many things that are like new concepts, just because it makes it a little more difficult for the subs when they're teaching new concepts than it is if they're doing review. Because review, the kids have a little bit more independent type things they can do, and the subs not having to do so much stuff and have to look at the lesson plans and like try to figure out exactly. And I also don't leave a lot of stuff from the reading curriculum. I might do a few things, but I try not to do too much. So I use things like our Scholastic News or our Social Studies Weeklies, those kind of things. I leave those for the subs a lot just because they're easy to do. I leave a little thing that says you can go online, here's the link to it, and I'll put that even in the sub plans, and I'll leave the sub plans up on my computer screen so that way they can click on the links and it goes right to the YouTube video or whatever it is that I have for them. And so I do a lot of activities where there's also a lot of research going on. So maybe where the sub can have time to talk about things with the students, and you know, they will like do like prior knowledge type stuff, and they can ask questions and do all this fun stuff and leave a lot of discussion. So I do a lot of, it's very free, I think, when I have a sub, just because I have a specific structure and I expect my students to follow it. But when I have a sub, the sub may not follow that structure all the way. So I do leave it like they have the same time frames and the same stuff is expected, but the activity may be a little different. I also leave a lot of, like I said, review work. So I do leave, if I have extra worksheets and stuff, those all get put over here to the side, and I leave those for the sub, and the sub can just, and so I'll like have them all, and I will say, okay, today for, your writing activity, you guys are going to be working on proper nouns because that's what I had available. And it's kind of review because we've already done it before. That's kind of how I do my sub plans. I don't like to, like I said, I don't like to leave a bunch of new stuff for the subs. I don't think it's fair to the sub to have to try to read an entire lesson plan before they teach a lesson, because a lot of times they don't have time. They're going from one place to the next, and they're doing the next thing and the next thing, and occasionally they'll come back to the room, when if they have a plan time or anything. But I've been in a district where I didn't have plan time very often, and so it was like maybe like once a week I would have a plan time. And so when you had a sub, they didn't get that time to stop and read over what is expected for them to teach to the students. So I did, like I said, I leave a lot of review types activities. So hopefully that kind of answers your question about how I do sub plans. And for the rest of you that are interested in doing, how I do sub plans, that's how I do mine. I think it's way easier, and it's not very time consuming. So I'm not spending a long time prepping a lot of stuff just because it is a lot of review. Good morning, it is Tuesday, and guess what I did? I forgot my lunch and my breakfast today. So I'm like, oh, I'll just get lunch at school. Nope, they're having fish today. I'm like, I'm not eating that. So, there's some extra Rice Krispie treats in here, so I guess that's gonna be my breakfast. And then I could run to Casey's, I guess, during lunchtime, which is a convenience store for those people that don't have a Casey's near you. It's just like a convenience store. I could run there, I guess, and get food, so I guess I'll be doing that. Or I have pretzels and some these beef sticks that I bought. I think I got them at Menards. They're like sausage sticks. I don't know. I was using them for snacks because I do, like I said, I have those pretzels, but then I eat them and it's like I get hungry again pretty quickly. So I thought maybe having a little bit more protein would be better, but I was so mad that I got out of the car, started grabbing all my stuff, and then I'm like, forgot my lunch. So I text Rudy, I'm like, can you put all that away for me? What a fun day today is going to be. Yesterday, I didn't get to share all this with you guys. Yesterday we read, so let me go way back. Okay, so this year here seems to be, I'm kind of on top of things a little bit more than I have been. So I knew that it was the, first full week of November, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I had to do my turkey stuff. So I went and found my Turkey Trouble book, which is not actually mine, it's somebody else's. But I found the Turkey Trouble book, and we're doing that. And then I sent home, of course, their turkey that they're going to decorate. So I can't wait to see what they look like. It's going to be super cute, I think. But I was totally on top of it yesterday. I got the note done. I got all the stuff sent home. I read the book and did all that fun stuff, which was out of our normal schedule. So we were supposed to be doing writing at that time, but I really wanted to do the activity. I knew it needed to get sent home because I need it back by next Friday. So I'm giving them almost 2 weeks because I went home yesterday. I was totally on top of it this time. I don't know what happened. It's the last 2 years, I don't think even last year, I don't think I even did this last year. I completely forgot. I spaced it and I was like, it's too late to send it home now. I am so proud of myself this time. I got them sent home. What? So I'm hoping today's gonna be a little bit better of a day. I mean, minus the forgetting my lunch and my breakfast type situation that had just happened. But yesterday our counselor had to reschedule, so we're rescheduled for tomorrow. And so yesterday we did a Scholastic News. And if you guys don't know, I'm a whole month behind on Scholastic News. So I'm pretty sure I'm only 2 of them behind, because these ones are for November and December. Anyway, and then I haven't been doing any of the Social Studies Weekly and the Science Weekly, because they're So, and we were talking about our math program because, like, me and the other first grade teacher are having a lot of struggles with it. It's not like it's a hard program at all, but it doesn't dive deep enough. It's so surface level all the time. And I'm like, I can't do this. Like, it's horrible. She says she's having the same issue. It's like, it's not diving deep enough. The kids are not getting a stronger connection with it. But I think I'm going to start doing it so that we have 2 days on the same topic instead of 1 day on a topic. Because it was like we were going super fast through it, but the kids are not grasping what they're supposed to. So it is 7:22. So I'm going to go get to it. You know, and I was editing my vlog last night, and I realized that I say that like all the time. I don't know. Good morning. It is Wednesday. It is November 6th. I voted yesterday, so what? I don't know why I said the what. That's weird. So I did that after school yesterday, so hopefully you guys all voted too. I brought my lunch today, so that's a good thing. I remembered it. And my breakfast. I don't remember if I told you guys, like, my oil diffuser that I had, it died like a while back. So I can't remember if I talked about this or not. I want to say I do remember talking about it, but doTERRA ended up having a sale on this one here. So I got this one here. I really like the bottom section. And if you've never used an oil diffuser before, I'll kind of explain it to you a little bit. They're really nice. It's one of my favorites. It came from, I think it was Walgreens, but I think Walmart might carry it too. It's Calming Sleep, and it has things like patchouli and lavender, wintergreen, frankincense, cedar wood, so orange, lemongrass. So there's a bunch of stuff in it. I use a lot. I love the smell of it. One of my students actually gave me this one. It's from Beechwood Essentials. It is Italian lemon. A student gave it to me a couple years ago, peppermint. And I use this. I used to use it a lot for testing. So I would just tap my finger on it and put it on the kid's hand. So when they tested, they smelled their hand. And so peppermint's supposed to help with memory and refresh the brain. I've been looking everywhere for these batteries because I was like, I need a battery. And I found them. I was like looking all over. I found them. Anyway, so you take your little diffuser, and you can get these at Walmart too and everything. I do gotta say that the doTERRA ones, you pay them more money for them, but they work really good. So, like they work really well. I really like the doTERRA ones. I have one in my office at home. I love it. And I was buying the cheap ones before. We went and spent a little bit of money because I had a sale on them before. I would wait though until you have a sale if you're gonna be doing them. But yeah, I think this one was like $40. So like I paid the $40, but I also got a free $20 bottle of oil. So really I paid $20. So like I did it was a combination of the two. I don't remember what the oil was now, but Rudy must have it at home. He must have tried to keep it. But anyway, so you put water inside of it. Like mine has this little tiny marker on it, and that tells me how full to fill it. And then I just put like a couple drops of this in. I don't usually put like a whole bunch. Maybe 3 drops because they are really concentrated. So I put that in, and then we put the lid back on, and then I turn it on. Somewhere where's the thing at? It's plugged in. You turn it on, and it like sprays out a mist, and it has the essential oil in it. I love using them in the classroom. And I think I've done a whole, if I remember correctly, I've done a whole video on using essential oils in the classroom a while back for what I did one for Young Living. So if you're interested, you can check that video out. And our staff meeting got canceled this morning, so yay. But I'm going to use that time now to get some stuff done, because I need to get a game done for their math groups. And I don't remember which game it is, because I don't have the book over here. But it was whatever the one that we had for chapter 4, because we finished our chapter 4. Anyway, I'm going to get to it. morning. It is Thursday. It's sort of like my Friday, but not really. Let me explain. We have in-service tomorrow. We have in-services a lot, apparently. That's like a thing. I don't know what that's about. We had in-service last Monday, and then we have in-service today. So, but this one here, we have to go to a whole different city, a different town or city. I guess it would be a town. We have to go to a whole different one. It's like 30 minutes away. So, and I need to go make copies in a little bit and plan out what I need to do for next week. So, and I'm just kind of walking around my room because I'm getting tired of like sitting over there and having the same scenery all the time. And since I have not been very good at vlogging this time, it's, things are getting a little crazy, but I did figure out though how to print the stuff from our book. So like for my MTSS group, I always look at the door when I walk by it. I've been using the Wonder stuff, and I've been using like the small group stuff to like for their leveled readers and stuff for the MTSS groups. And because it kind of goes on their levels, and then I've been using that, but when you try to do it, you have to print it. Like, the people need the lesson plans for it. And so I made copies of it last week, and it was a big old hot mess, and they look so ugly, and I did not like them. So I did find out, they're still not the best, but I did find out that if you're like in the teacher edition, you can click on them, there's a little print button. So it prints them like that. Again, not the best, but it saves me from having to like shrink them down and everything to get it all to fit, and then be like, part of it got cut off, sorry. It's just like this big mess. I don't know if they're the same. They look the same. Yeah, they look exactly the same. So I'm assuming it's the same. I don't know. I'll need to get all that ready too for my MTS groups for next week. Hopefully the stuff that they're doing is lasting them the whole time, because like those lessons are supposed to be done for the whole week. They're a whole week's worth of lesson plans. So if these groups are finishing them super early, then we got an issue. And it's gotten so cold. It was supposed to snow, I guess, last night, but it never did. So yay, because I'm not ready for snow. Too early. Womp, womp, womp. So, but yeah, it's supposed to be like 41 degrees today. Today is what we call our freedom walk. And we go to a different town, and because like our district's made up of all these other towns like all around, and they all come to our school, and for the elementary and middle school, and then we have a separate high school, but that's in a different town too. So, but we're like a super small district, so all these other towns come to ours, and so. And eventually, at one time, all those schools were going, but they've slowly closed them all because there just wasn't enough students, and so they've all kind of grouped them all here. So, anyway, so they're going to this other town to do the Freedom Walk. Well, we chose not to go just because I wasn't really sure with my class if they would really understand what's going on, and then we had like talked about it that we're not really sure if the first graders would really be into it, and like we weren't going to take the kindergartners because they're kind of a hot mess. We're kind of a hot mess, so we were just like, let's not do it. Now that I'm realizing I've gone 2 field trips with them, they probably could have done it, but we had to give the news, like let them know so far in advance that we weren't really sure. We hadn't gone on any field trips at that point when the decision had to be made, so we didn't know. So we just said, let's just not go. We'll go to the other ones and then just skip this one. So that's what we did. So glad we didn't, because it is right now 24 degrees. They leave at 8:30 and it's 7:20. So like in an hour, I don't think it's going to get warm enough. They're going to be cold. And we were like sitting there yesterday at lunchtime and we're like, we are so glad we decided not to go. Because it's going to be cold. Yeah, the high today is supposed to be 41. So it's cold. So apparently we just totally skipped fall altogether. I went straight to winter. So I'm just going to spend my morning trying to get the rest of the stuff planned out. Like I said, I've gotten some of the interactive notebooks planned. I need to still do some spelling word practice stuff, finish up the MTSS groups. I really do need to make that checklist. Like, I need something to go off of. I need to do my newsletter and my homework chart still, but I really do need something to go off of, like, to have like, oh, this is the stuff I need to plan. Because I don't have any of the read-aloud cards or any of that stuff put out yet either. So I need to get to all that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that.
right, it's now 3 o'clock and I'm on my way home. The training, or what they call it, scenarios, were so good. Okay, so the lady that does them, it was another trauma one, and we had a trauma one before, if you guys remember back. This was day 2 of the first one. So we had these scenarios we had to do. So we went in, and we were supposed to get into, like, there was all these groups of chairs everywhere. There was a binder with your family name on it. So we were in houses, basically. And they were like, so we had to go there and go to these houses. So I was with, like, a bunch of people from, like, the first grade team and some of our interns and second grade team and everything stuff. So we were all there, like, doing the scenario, and it goes through and it tells you what happened. Like, ours was that the dad ended up basically doing tax fraud or something and lost all their money, and now he's working doing day labor and trying to make money to do all this stuff. And I'm sorry, there's like something in the street right now. It's a cat. So yeah, so that was that one. And then, like, the mom is not happy with the choices that I made. It's my fault they're in this situation. They were a middle-class family that's now been falling into poverty, and we had 3 kids. So I was the dad, the second grade teacher was the mom, and then there was the 3 kids. So it was a 3-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 12-year-old. We go through weeks. Each week is 15 minutes. 7 minutes is our people going to do whatever they had to do. If they had to go to school, they went to the school. If they had to go to work, they had to go to work. And then they had, like, we had passes that we had to have, transportation passes. And we couldn't go to anywhere unless we had a transportation pass. Well, we only got 6 in the very beginning, and we had no money. So, like, we started with no money. I had to go to work, so I took 5 of the passes because I needed one for each day of the week. And so there was 5 of my passes went there. We had 1 pass left over. And we could, basically, the first week, we couldn't do anything. Like, the kids were able to go to school by themselves because they don't need passes for that, but we needed passes for mine. So I went to work, came back, and then we had 1 pass left. Well, I had to cash my check, and we needed to buy more transportation passes. Well, unfortunately, we had 1 pass. I couldn't go to the bank and go get more passes because I would use the 1 going to the bank. So then we were like, oh, crap, what do we do? So we went and asked for help. Like, you had to go ask for help. So we asked for help, and they said, you can go to the check cashing place, and where they sell the passes, they'll cash a check too for free. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I went over there and did that. But then when I got in line to go get the transportation passes, the time ran out. The week was over. And I was like, crap. So we went back to our house, and the next morning, I had to run and go get passes so I could go to work again for that week because I couldn't go to work. Well, the line was taking forever, forever. Then they got done, and when I got to my turn, they ran out of passes. They're like, sorry, we're out. And I'm like, how do I go to work? And they're like, I don't know, it's not my problem. And I'm like, oh my God. So I had to go back to my family, and my wife's at home waiting for me to get passes so she can go buy food and everything. And I'm like, there's no more passes. And then there's people that are walking around, and they're like, take this bag over to the pawn shop, they'll give you money. And it was drugs, but it was just sugar. But like, there's all these people trying to get you to do bad things, like, because that's how it is. Like, when you need money, you do illegal stuff if you have to. And we were really trying not to do anything illegal. Like, it was just like, not at all what we were trying to do. And so finally, I noticed that they got passes again. So I ran over there, got my passes, and I get to work, and I'm 6 minutes late. So, like, we only have 7 minutes. We have 7 minutes in our job, 8 minutes to, like, be with our family and get stuff bought, get food, go to the bank, go to wherever we need to go. So I get back. I go, okay, right over there, and I'm like, okay, here's my thing, can I still get to work? And they're like, you're, like, really late. Like, the next time this happens, you're out of a job. And I'm like, okay. I'm sorry, like. So I sit down, and they have these papers that we have to fill out. They're just like questionnaires about poverty, so things just like time fillers. So we're sitting there filling out these things. Well, on that one there was no more left. So I'm like, so I'm just kind of sitting there, and I pick up this piece of paper, and that lady working. She's like, do you not have any work either? And I'm like, no, I didn't have any work. She's like, so you're late and you're not doing any work. And then they're so mean to me. But anyway, so work was over with. I'd cash my check. By like the second or third time, my routine was the same. It was like I went to work, cashed my check, bought transportation passes so my family could go out and do things during the daytime to go pay bills and stuff. But we weren't making enough money, so we were late on our mortgage. So we almost got evicted from our house. We were late getting our daughter her insulin that she needed for her diabetes, and so basically, like she probably would have died, but we were able to get the following week. But we were a week off of getting her insulin she needed because we ran out of money. And then we had to go to the church and ask for food, like stuff, so we could get more food. And then at the same time, we were applying for like food stamps and food assistance. And so, like, it was just all this trouble that we had to go through. It was so crazy, but it was really eye-opening to what really happens with people that are in poverty. Like, that was really rough, and it was so stressful, and like anxiety was just like, I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, we were all just like, I don't know what to do. We don't have any money. We don't have any passes. Like, what do we do? Like, we were just so lost. And at one point, we were so broke because we weren't making enough money that we did do a drug run, so we had to do it. So we were kind of like, well, I guess this is what we do. So we took the bag from the dude and whatever and gave it to the pawn shop. And then someone came and stole all our stuff out of our house. So like we had stuff that we can pawn, like a TV, refrigerator, those kind of things. Someone broke into our house and stole it all when we were out like doing stuff, being at school and work. Somebody came and stole it because apparently people were stealing too. Like, it was crazy. It was like so eye-opening though, and it was just a really good simulation. It was so good. I know it sounds crazy, but it was so good. And I'm sorry if the road's like really weird and loud. I'm so sorry, but this is my only time to vlog really. So, but it was so good. So, and then after that we went and ate lunch, and then we had like the lady that did our simulation. She's the one that runs it all, so she like created the simulation. So she does all the presentations and everything. It was really good. So we're supposed to have a day 3. I think it's in January, they said, or February. So I don't know. It was really good, but I am almost home, I think. So, and that actually is going to be it for this vlog. So I hope you guys like what you saw. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Follow me on all my social media links down below. And until next time, don't forget to always be you. Bye.